How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL video, and today we're going to be looking at Game Week 5 version of Buy, Hold, Sell. This is where we look at players that I think that you should buy this game week, probably because they have a good run of fixtures or they just recently did well in the previous game week. Players that I think you should hang on to if they blanked or didn't play in the last week, and I think they could have a better fixture or a better time around this game week. And players that I think you should sell because they're either injured, they're performing badly over a period of time, they've been sold, they've been loaned out, those sorts of things. If you haven't done so already, make sure to leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. We've gone over 1,100 subscribers, which is fantastic to see. Hopefully we can continue towards our goal, which I said at the beginning of the season was around 2,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can hit that. And also turn those notification bells on so you can get the content as soon as it is readily available, and leave a comment down below as to players that you're looking to potentially bring in or get rid of going into game week 5. Also follow us over on Twitter and Twitch. We will be doing our deadline stream as per normal 1 hour before the deadline over on Twitch, and also we will be putting notices of videos that go out throughout the week over on Twitter, as well as we do a weekly bulletin on Sundays to show you what is coming out for the week. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So every week we like to take a look at how we did for our previous buy, hold, and sells of the previous game week. So for the buys this week, not fantastic. They were very underwhelming, and some deducting points off of your score. In the case of Robertson, who got -1 as they conceded 7 goals to Aston Villa in the 7-2 defeat, and Richarlison only getting 1 point after being taken off due to injury after around 20-ish minutes or so in his fixture. However, the holds were slightly better, so those would be rewarded for keeping Sterling in their team for game week 4, him racking up 9 points in that fixture versus Leeds. However, Jimenez didn't deliver again, only 2 points for him as well. He did have a one-on-one in that game, which he didn't take, unfortunately, for those that did keep him. He still has a great run of fixtures, so I can see him being held in a lot of teams for that run of fixtures. For the sells, we did quite well, though. Doherty, 0 points. I took him personally out of my team. He didn't play a single minute in the 6-1 thumping that they gave Manchester United. And Werner blanking for the 3rd game week in a row, only having 1 assist registered to his name in the 4 game weeks that he's played for Chelsea since the start of the new season. So a bit of a mixed bag here. Some good sells, 1 good hold, 1 not so good hold, and then 2 bad buys. So kind of did a half and half there. Without further ado, let's check out what buys we have for this game week. So the first buy we have on our list is pretty straightforward. He's been doing quite well. You may know him as a player named Heung-min Son, who plays for Tottenham Hotspurs. He currently sits at the time of recording at 9.1 million in the midfield slot. He's got 45 points this season, 6 goals, 1 assist across the 4 games that he's played. He's just over 30% ownership, averaging 11.3 points per game. Don't think he's going to keep that up, but hey, he is a fantastic player. He has a fantastic fixture coming up this week as well. West Ham at home, who they like to play a little bit more progressive, and I can see him definitely hitting them on the break. And he scored just a small amount in game week 4, 18 points. So I feel bad for the players that had him in game week 1, got rid of him for game week 2, brought him back in game week 3, and got rid of him in game week 4 because of like the whole injury / Spurs being bad in game week 1. And they would have missed out on quite a lot of points. Me personally, I didn't have him from the jump, and I didn't bring him in because I thought that, the amount of goals that he was scoring and, the amount of returns that he was getting, much like Harry Kane, would not keep up. To be fair, the 2 teams that they did score quite a few against, United went down to 10 men, so that exacerbated the problem even more. And Southampton didn't learn their lesson. Now, I do think that they could potentially, they're good enough players in Harry Kane and Son, especially with Bale coming into the team, to continue this run of form with the fixtures that they have. But will people give them a lot more space? Will these teams, think, what, maybe we should play a little bit deeper, a little bit more reserved, so that Spurs don't get in behind? Because they haven't really shown their creativity when breaking a team down. And Mourinho teams typically aren't very good at doing that historically. However, they are fantastic on the break, and they are fantastic at playing as like the underdog / the team that has to sit back and hit their opposition on the break. But I definitely think Son's a fantastic player. He's playing a lot more centrally, which is what you want, and he's the guy getting in behind. I think Bale may take some of this, limelight off him as well and kind of split that. But we could see potentially a Spurs triple up with Bale, Son, and Kane at some point during the season, and I'm excited to think about that proposition. But I think Son is definitely a buy for Game Week 5. The next player we have on our buy list is Neal Maupay. He currently sits at 6.6 million after seeing a price rise in the forward position. He's got 32 points this season, 4 goals, 1 assist. He is on penalties as well, and just over 5% ownership, which is quite low. Average of 8 points per game in the 4 games that he's played. He scored 6 points in Game Week 4, and he has a very tasty fixture versus Crystal Palace, who just conceded 4 to Chelsea. Now, I think that Brighton look to be a fantastic team if they can keep clean sheets, and they have a lot of assets that could be very valuable for their price point. So Maupay and Callum Wilson are 2 forwards that start at the 6.5 million mark, that are looking better than their counterparts that are, people thought they were going to be bringing in after Game Week 2, almost certainly, like Ings, who I have in my team, Jimenez, a lot of people have him in their teams. These sorts of players are being less and less shown in teams, especially teams on wildcards as well. A lot of people going for the cheaper forwards. Antonio is another one who's actually gone down in price, and he has fantastic fixtures from Game Week 8 onwards. So I think these cheaper forwards are definitely going to be more on people's radar. And Maupay is no exception to that rule, especially because he's also on penalties, much like Callum Wilson, much like Antonio, who is also on penalties, only with the exception if Mark Noble is on the field, who has been, put on the bench in recent games as well. But I think Maupay, he's one of these players he's very good off the ball, he's very good on the ball, he takes penalties, he likes to get in behind, he's always in and around the box, which is what you like to see. He can get under players' skin, which can also, disorient them, which allowing him to get more space than he would otherwise. And I think he could be a fantastic pick with a couple of good fixtures in the next few game weeks. And I think that he's going to be a great buy for Game Week 5. The first player we have on the hold list is Kevin De Bruyne. He currently sits at 11.6 million in the midfield slot. 17 points, 1 goal, 1 assist, just shy of 40% ownership, and just shy of an average of 6 points per game. His next game is at home to Arsenal, and in Game Week 4 he only scored 2 points in their 1-1 draw with Leeds. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is a player that we know on his day is arguably the best player in the Premier League, and I think that unless he's injured for several weeks, and you get news reports of that, I wouldn't sell him even if he is benched because of fatigue. There were reports that he was taken out precautionary because of a muscle injury that he may have had on his international duty with Belgium. There's also reports coming out that saying that it's just fatigue. So I think one of two things could potentially happen. I think if De Bruyne is, going to play in their game versus Arsenal, I think he's probably going to be wanted to play in that game. He's going to be from the start. I don't think he's going to be coming off the bench. I think it will definitely be from the start because City have a very easy Champions League group, and I don't think they really need De Bruyne in that. So he'll basically get a week off after playing Arsenal because I don't think they'll need him in that. They'll probably play some other players. They can probably be serviceable with the likes of Foden and Ferran Torres and these sorts of players and have him on the bench in the event that they need him, but they probably won't. They'll probably save him for last, maybe getting minutes for Jesus, who could potentially be back. Same with Aguero. These players, Aguero's been spotted in training. Jesus hasn't as of yet, so we'll have to see kind of how they play out, and they will definitely enhance Manchester City. But I think hang on to De Bruyne for this week. If he plays versus Arsenal, I think he can do well, as historically Manchester City have done so. So I think a hold on Kevin De Bruyne, Game Week 5. Definitely hang on to the Belgian. And another midfielder that is quite pricey that I think you should hang on to is Sadio Monet. He has 25 points this season, 3 goals, 0 assists, just over 6% ownership, averages 8.3 points per game. He has the Merseyside Derby as his next fixture in Game Week 5, and he got a 0-point score in Game Week 4, and that was because he was isolating because he tested positive. Now, I think that you should definitely hang on to Sadio Mane. I think there should be no qualms about playing him in this fixture away to Everton. I think he's definitely going to be, raring to get back, especially with the likes of Salah scoring an extra 2 goals to bring his tally to 5 for the season, and Mane will want to equal that. Now, when Mane and Salah played together in the team, Mane does better away from home. Salah does better at home. So I think Mane can definitely score some points in this game. Since Mane didn't play in the previous game, which was also away from home, Salah scored in that. That's typically kind of historically, since those two have been in the Liverpool side, how it goes. But I think that if he's fit and available, Mane will be wanting to come back into the team. Now, there is very rare situations where you can basically, get the virus twice, but it's highly unlikely, especially with these guys, bodies and how they can deal with it, because they're super fit guys. Their respiratory systems are in tip-top shape, being a footballer. And unless he's had some significant setbacks with how his body took the virus, I think that Mane will be raring to play, and I think he'll be ready to go for the Everton fixture this game week. So I think if you have Mane, and the likelihood that Klopp will say that he's good to go, I would say wait for that press conference. But I think if he is raring to go and Klopp says he's fine to play, I say hang on to him, because I think he could do some damage in game week 5. Now, the two sells that we have this week are pretty straightforward. The first one being Anthony Martial. He is 8.8 million after seeing 2 price drops in the forward slot. Only 5 points this season, no goals to his name, 1 assist, just over 6.3% owned, and average 1.7 points per game. He only scored 1 point in game week 4 after already registering an assist in the opening minute or so, because Bruyne scored the penalty after he was taken down. But he was sent off, and it was a straight red, which means he gets suspended for 3 games, which means he will miss the Newcastle, Chelsea at home, and Arsenal at home fixtures, so he won't be back for 3 game weeks. He will still be able to play in the Champions League, but as FPL owners, that is no good to us, and he didn't really look that good at all, apart from that one moment of brilliance between him and Bruyne in the first minute or so of the most recent game in Game Week 4 versus Spurs. So I think if you have him, sell him for Ings, Jimenez, one of the cheaper forwards, potentially even Kane. Get him out. He's going to be out for 3 games because of his suspension, and it doesn't look like United's appealing it, and he'll just play in the Champions League instead, and they'll probably end up playing Cavani when he's fit and available in the Premier League. And the other sell for this game week is Reuben Vinogray. He currently sits at 4.3 million in the defender slot with only 1 point to his name, no goals, no assists, just shy of 4% owned, averages 0.5 points per game as he only played 2 games. His next game is not applicable because, much like Martial, he won't be playing for Wolves anytime soon. However, his is a little bit longer. He is on loan until the end of the season and will return to Wolves in the summer in June. So if you have him in your team, if he's just going to be a cheap defender that you have on your bench to just kind of, get funds elsewhere, you can do that for the time being, but just know that he's going to probably drop in price as people get rid of him, because he will not be playing for Wolves anymore this season unless they recall him in January, which I think is highly unlikely because they've made purchases to shore up his position as well as other defensive positions for the coming games. So I think if you have Reuben Vinogray, it's a pretty easy sell for me this game week. And that's going to do it for the Game Week 5 edition of Buy, Hold, and Sell. If you're enjoying the videos, make sure to leave a like on them. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new. It greatly helps out the channel. A big thank you to all the subscribers that have done so already. Make sure to turn that notification bell on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. And make sure to give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch, where we will be doing our deadline stream as per normal over on Twitch 1 hour before the deadline, which comes at 5 a.m. EDT this game week. And on Twitter we will be posting as usual this coming Sunday our bulletin of videos that come out for the week, with our gaming videos coming on Sundays as well as FPL content coming throughout the week. Now, it is a bit different for game week 6 and 7, and that being the games come on Friday afternoons, the start of game week 6 and 7. They've scheduled afternoon games for my time, so it'd be, I think it's like 8 o'clock games UK time. So what that means is I'll be doing the deadline streams on Thursday at 7 p.m. EDT. I'll make sure to put a note once we finish the deadline stream for Game Week 5. The pinned comments down below on every video will tell you the exact time that you need to know when to stop by over on Twitch. The previews will be the same. However, we will be doing the preview stream, the video, as well as the captaincy video or at least there'll be one day where basically you'll have 2 videos in one day. I almost did that. No, it said 4 videos. That'd be insane. But no, basically there'll be one day where there'll be a double up on videos, and everything will get shifted forward. And I'll basically combine the deadline stream with the lineup announcement video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.